Hello, welcome back to Pushing Technology to the Limit. Today I have a really great video and I am not sure where to start. I am testing a whole slew of things. You should see my table right now. It is atrociously a mess with all the stuff I got, and I'm going to get to it. I'm going to show you. So, if you like these videos, please like them on YouTube, on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, and tell other people. And if you don't like it, you can always hit the thumbs down button and tell people you don't like these videos. But I can't imagine that you don't like them because you always come back. And this one is going to be the best. At least I hope it is. I'm excited about it, and you should be too. Now, traditional TV sucks. Alright? Most of you know that by now. But I just mean the whole thing. It just sucks. Whether you got cable TV, whether you got off-air antenna, satellite TV, it all sucks. Why? Because you can only use it in one room at a time. Oh, well, yes, you can run, like if you have cable, you can run to multiple TVs. But if you have a DVR that you want to watch a sports channel on, you can only watch it in one room. Because unless you want to rent more than one DVR, which is stupid, in my opinion. It's so expensive. I mean, I've never had cable, but from what I hear from people, as of late, I mean, going all the way back to last year, when Spectrum took over Time Warner Cable, it's absolutely the worst cable system. And I don't mean it's just here. I mean, it's all over. And expensive. And the stuff that I've been testing lately, and so like I've been testing like some free TV channels, I got my quirks about it. But if you want to get good TV, whether it's on videos on demand, there's a lot of services. I've got this box on my table, and it's a small Rocket box, and it actually is small, and it really works good. And let me show you the box. I've got so much to show you on my table. Let me just get to the player first. Then let me show you my setup. But let me just give you one advice that I've got here right now that I'm doing. Is that in this room, I've got a multiple TV setup. I'm running 3 TVs. Well, actually, this, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this monitor over here is just a computer monitor. And it has speakers here.
Volcanoes combined attack.
So you can actually hear the TV. I mean, something's kind of stuck on it. And see, this is the problem. Well, I'll get to showing you the issues with the free TV service that I've been testing. It's awful. And I've talked to some friends that I've actually had test it out, and they said it keeps stopping. It does here too, so it's just not me. The first time I thought it was me, I had somebody else try it out, and they're like, nope, it just keeps timing out. So my feeling about free TV is that it sucks. Whether it's off-air antenna or free TV on the internet, about the only free TV that I know that really works good is YouTube. Now, that's not TV like sports, but if you are interested in how I got this set up, just give me a shout. But anyways, let me get to this player. I know I'm going off the wall about everything else except the player. But this is just a small into the bucket of things that you can do with modern technology as far as TV is concerned. Get rid of the cable TV, the off-air antennas, the DVRs, because this is better. I mean, if you want to record TV, I'm sorry, this is not the particular unit for you. You would have to have a service. Well, anyways, let me show you that box. It's a really nice box. I've been having to test it for a while now on different systems. I mean, as far as different apps and things. There are a few drawbacks to this particular unit, but there's always drawbacks to anything, whether you've got cable TV, satellite, or off-air antenna. And well, let me get to that box. Hold on a second here. So right here is that small rocket box that I've got. You see here I've got, it's actually loaded. I've got everything loaded on it. I've got, you know, the ports on the back. Like I've said in the past, to anybody that's watched my videos in the past, you know I do not like wireless. Wireless sucks. Now I say that there are purposes for wireless, but not streaming video, okay? So I got the HDMI, the Ethernet, and the power all plugged in and it's running, and the USB ports are filled. And the one thing that I have found with this particular box, the fact is that the HDMI works fine. I have a cable to go into the composite video out. It doesn't work. Don't know why. It's really weird. It doesn't matter. I'll show you a fix for that, actually. And it's like I said, I got so many parts on my table, I gotta show you one by one here. So, it's, and like I said, in videos past, this doesn't have the best ventilation on it. But you know what? It doesn't run that warm. I mean, it is a little warm, and because it's warm in this room, I've got so much stuff running in here with what I got. 3 TVs running, well actually 4 monitors running, because I got the 2 computer monitors and the 2 TV sets. So that's 4 monitors running all together. And so it works pretty good for the price. Well, I paid probably about, I think, $50 for it, a little bit less than that. But now the prices, the seller on Amazon raised their price, which I don't know why they did, but they did. And so it's gone up. And I'm not going to tell, well, I'll tell you what the price is. It's $60 right now. But I can't tell you in the future when you watch this video, when it's old, what the price will be, or if this box is even around by the time you watch this video. But anyways, let me show you some of the other parts I've got here. Let's see here. So here's my PWD Y KVM extender. Now this is the transmitter, and it's actually not too bad of a unit. And actually, I like it. I've got it set up on everything that I own. And oops, my cable came unplugged here. No wonder why everything was blinking over here. And so on this thing is your transmitter, and as you see here, there's your HDMI and your USB. And on the back here, it's kind of hard to show you everything since I've got wires all over the place. Well, these are Ethernet and power. Not too bad. Let me show you over here. So basically what I've got here is I got a video distribution system set up. And this is just basically a standard Netgear switch. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just standard. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't program anything. This is just, you can just plug in anything you want and you get 5 ports. So basically, with this particular 5-port switch, it allows me to connect up to 5 TVs. Well, actually, excuse me. I messed up. It's 4 TVs. Because the first port is actually the transmitter, and everything else is receivers. So over here I have a USB extender. Basically that goes through networking, and what I'm going to be doing is setting this up in a remote room, and I'm going to control it from whatever room I set it up in. So this system, it works pretty good. It has 4 USB ports on it. And it was about, I think, $62 on Amazon. And don't quote me on that when you watch it, because like I said, things can go up or down. And I bought, this is probably the second one I've bought. Bought one for a computer. And you can also do video chatting with this, which I'm going to go into more about this in the future on this video. So, on top of that, I have a little HD camera on my monitor. And I actually can make phone calls with Facebook, or Skype for that matter, but I choose Facebook over Skype because Skype sucks. and not everybody is on it anymore. So this is a pretty good camera for $26. And let's see here. Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce the brand there. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but it's a halfway decent camera and good sound too. And everybody says that I look good on it. Yeah, whatever. But that's what they say. So over here, let me get back over here. Everything is falling down. So I have to have a USB transmitter. So that's what this is right here. This is the part that transmits it through the Ethernet. And you cannot connect this up to any switches. This is point to point, which isn't bad. It's probably a little more reliable. Actually, I can say it is a lot more reliable that way, without having to have a networking switch involved. But you do have some drawbacks with it, is that you cannot go as far with it as networking is concerned. This one is, well, I'm not sure. I don't know how to convert in millimeters. If you do a Google search on it, but it's 50 millimeters to transmit this, and it's ridiculous. Why don't they just say 165 feet? Now, don't quote me what this is, but but it's a good unit. I'm not complaining about it because I've had two. This is my second one now, and it works pretty good. And I use it for my camera, and I can use it for a whole bunch of other things like hard drives and flash sticks and all sorts of stuff. So the one thing I like about this particular Android TV box that I have is that it has this remote. Now, it's a smaller remote than standard, but actually it's not a bad size. And why do I like it? Now, if you watch my previous Android TV boxes that I did reviews on, I like these because they are IR. And actually this one is better than all the rest of them that I tried together. Why? Because this one has a programmable function. Up here on the remote here, the blue keys that you see that my hands aren't covering up, that's actually you can control your TV with it, or whatever system you want, whether it's your TV set, your home theater, and all you have to do is just hit one button. I'm not going to show you how to do it on this video, but I've set this up on my downstairs TV to run my stereo system, so I didn't have to change the inputs and the volume. So I can run it all from this little remote control. Not bad. I give this thing, 2 thumbs up for the fact that this has a programmable function, which all the rest of them I've tried have not had this feature. Right on. This company is real. I like this company for the fact that they've done this. Yes, it's a little loud. You can hear that a little bit. But at least you know it's hitting the keys. Now this also is a remote control. Well, yes, it's a remote control, but I'm saying it's a mouse. You can hit a button here and actually control the mouse through pointing it right at the device itself. I don't like that. The one thing I do recommend is a keyboard and mouse. And this is what I've got on my setup. And let me show you what I have. So here I have a full keyboard and mouse. It's a wireless mouse. It has one little USB port to this, and that's it. Now there's other mice and keyboards that you can get, like this one, for example. You can buy this. I don't like it because it's way too small and it's way too finicky. It's touchy, and what I mean by that is when I touch this mouse pad here, the one on the top, it does things that I did not tell it to do. So it's way too sensitive for anything. For whether, I've tried it on my computer. I've had it in the past for other quick uses. Yes, it's a nice unit because it has, volume up, volume down. Let's see here. Okay, so there's play and pause in here, different things. Your controls for like a DVD function. It's not a bad keyboard, but the fact is that you gotta charge it all the time. Now, the other keyboard I've got, it takes 2 batteries, one for the mouse and one for the keyboard. That's it. And the only thing that I find negative about that is for the fact that it has one, I think it's one or the other, has a AA and a AAA. That's the only negative I got on that whole thing. But it's been working great for what I needed. So if you don't want a camera, if you're like, I don't want people to see me on Facebook or Skype, no problemo. I also tried one of these things out. Now, I don't like this particular microphone because it is absolutely too small and it is cheap. I'll tell you, super cheap. It was $7. It has good sound, but I can't set it on my table. So this is my table. I can't have it this far away. I gotta have it right up here. And I gotta say, hey Joe, how's it going? I don't want to hang on to it. So I don't recommend this mic. Now, yes, you can say I am a little crazy for what I'm going to tell you that I did. I absolutely tried this. Let me show you. Let me get the thing right now. So just for kicks, I wanted to see if I could actually run my professional microphone and mixer through my Android. And it did. It worked. I was able to run my mixer, my professional microphone and mixer together through the sound card on the Android, and I was able to talk to anybody through Facebook or Skype, and it was great. But the only thing that I found that was a drawback to having a sound card, now it doesn't make sense. I mean, to most of you're just users, and all you want to know is what's the pros and cons when I get into something like this. But for those that want to do more stuff that's advanced, this is what I'm recommending. Is this, well, not the sound card. I'm just saying this was just a test. But, well, let me just get off the let me get off the beaten trail here, okay? There are a lot of different applications out there, like smart TVs, and then there's smart streaming players like the one I've got. I don't know why they call them smart. They're not any smarter. They don't love you. Do they say goodnight, honey? No. They're just a computer, an inanimate object. They don't know how to love, so they aren't smart. The only people that are smart, or the only things that are smart, are the people that run it. Now, I heard one guy down in the restaurant call himself well, I'm a dumbass running a smartphone. He ain't dumb. The phone's dumb. Okay? So don't think you're stupid because your phone's smart. No, your phone isn't smart. Neither is the TV. Neither is this Android box that they call a smart box. But let me just tell you about my TV thoughts. Okay? Why would you want to have a smart TV? I've got a friend out in Oregon. He has a smart TV. Now, he was telling me that he tried to plug in a keyboard, and for some reason, I don't know if it was a new keyboard or an older keyboard, but it did not work. And he had to use this remote control, which was a pain in the neck, to run. And he hates it. And on top of that, why would you want to buy something in a combination? Now, one of my teachers back in high school, I never forgot this. And I know this is going way off the track of this Android box, but stick with me. And I think this is what you should know. And just remember, why would you want to buy a combination unit? Now, this is my experience, and especially with my teacher telling me. Now, you're going to laugh because I was, I don't remember, probably 95. Yeah, they didn't have phonograph players back then, but this was the illustration that he told me. He said, why would you buy a phonograph player, combination radio, and cassette deck all together in one box? At first I was just like, I'd rather do it that way. But he said, and this made so much sense to me, the way he told me it. He said, if the phonograph player dies, then all you've got left is a cassette deck and a radio. If the radio dies, all you got left is a cassette deck. Now it's pointless because now there's stuff that's on this stereo that's supposed to work that doesn't work. And yes, you pay more for buying things separate, but it's well worth it. I would never buy a smart TV for the fact that they can outdate that puppy in a heartbeat, just like that. Just like they can outdate this $60 box I just bought. But at least I don't have a useless TV sitting on my table, and I'm like, well, geez, I just paid $2,000 for this thing. I mean, I know I'm way overpriced. I did some pricing on smart TVs for a 38-inch TV. Yeah, you were paying $50 more for that smart TV versus the TV without the computer chip in it. I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, yes, it's convenient because you don't need to have cables all plugged in and all that. But the setup I've got here now, I'm running like the screen behind me that you see that has color. I got a screen over here that you can't see, which I'm going to show you. And then I got a big 40-inch TV screen in front of me that is all playing the same video source. So this could be your kitchen TV. The one right here could be your office TV. It's not a TV, it's a computer monitor. I know that, but I'm using it for a metaphor. And then I've got my big honking 40-inch TV in front of me. And I can have one source go from room to room with the equipment I've showed you. Now, I've got to show you some more parts. And like I said, this is probably going to be a little bit longer than most videos for the fact because I've got so much stuff to talk about. And so that way, if you're having a football party or sports party, I don't know, I'm talking to many of you that you love sports. You have parties with sports, the NFL, the NBL, or whatever you want to call those sports. I'm not a sports person. I like movies and I like talk shows. For the women, for that fact, if you want to be watching, I don't know, soaps. I don't know what women like to watch these days, but you know, soaps were back on when I was in school and when I was a kid. Didn't care for them, but I mean, and especially if you're watching it on one of these now, if you have, say, like 3 TVs, like I've got set up here that have one video source, you have to buy a $60 box for each TV, download all the apps to be able to watch the one channel that you want to watch. And this is where it gets tricky, okay? Is when you start streaming videos, and I did this here. I was watching Facebook Live in this office. I went down to lunch, turned on Facebook Live on my living room TV. And I was watching stuff. It was like a big delay. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. But it was, what was playing up here was new, but then what I was watching downstairs was somewhat repeat, and it was so far off. I mean, you know, or I missed some things. It's really hard to explain what was going on, but it wasn't in sync. It's not like turning on cable TV on TV set 1, go to your living room or your office on TV set 2 or 3, and turn into the same channel, and everything's in sync. This is not the way this stuff works, folks. And if you watched my videos in the past, I've told you that for you DSL users, you're going to have a little bit hard time with these boxes, especially with HD. Now, if you've got satellite internet, boom. There's no way you can do it on satellite unless the satellite company gives you unlimited. And if you don't have bad weather, then you can have good signal. But if you have bad weather and you got snow or you got rain, I don't know. I mean, I know there's people around the country that are going to be seeing this video or around the world. Y'all have different weather degrees. I'm up in the north. I've got all kinds of weather. I've got snow, sleet, hail, rain, sun, wind. And all that has an effect. Clouds, for that matter. Dark clouds. And so satellite doesn't work good for anything. And I know I'm off the beaten path again here, but to get your TV to run perfectly, you should only buy TVs that are TVs. And the fact is, now I'll give you this illustration because I own one. I've got a DVD VCR combo. And why? Because, and also back here in this corner room, you can't see it, but I also have a single VCR. I have a single DVD player. Now that DVD player is hooked up downstairs. But the reason that I do not like combination units, especially like TVs, is, or anything for that matter, and like, well, let me just finish up here on my DVD combo player, okay? So, I had a not terribly scratched DVD from a rental store a long time ago, and I also had borrowed some DVDs from the library, and nobody takes care of the DVDs, okay? They're like phonographs. There's some folks out there that still remember phonographs. I do. I still have them, and I still have a phonograph player. So, when it's scratched, when it was on a phonograph player, it go da-da, da-da, da-da. Well, at least with a DVD, it's gone. It just goes boom, boom, and the video kind of just glitches or does whatever, pixelizes. You lose information. So, we got this semi-scratched DVD, and it played like crap in my Zenith DVD VCR combo player. Now, the VCR was $300, brand new VCR DVD player. Then I have a Denon $300 just DVD player. It played that disc just perfectly, like it wasn't even scratched at all. I didn't even tell that it was scratched. Even the machine wasn't going like it does when you get a scratched DVD. So you're losing quality for a combination. And it's the same way with the VCR. There wasn't as many functions on the VCR as you get with just a VCR. And it's the same way with a DVD player. You get more features with a DVD player than you do with a DVD player and VCR combination. Same way with a smart TV. Now this TV back here, it's a combo unit. Somebody gave it to me. I'm not complaining about it. But for the fact is that it has a DVD player in it. It's lacking some features. Some TV features that I would want. I can't think off the bat what it's missing. Well, oh yes I do. It just came to me. It does not have the zoom feature like my TV does in front. Now if you've seen on my other videos, you've seen my big TV. And it has the zoom feature where you can, zoom out those wide bar things that they got for 16:9 video. This TV back here does not have that capability. Bust. Well, it doesn't really matter all that much because I don't really use it for TV. I use it for testing. I also use it for a computer monitor when I need to use it for something. So it's an all-around monitor, basically. So I don't actually use it for watching TV. It's kind of nice, but it's just that's what lacks on combination units. So that's why when I say if you want to do this, buy a Strict TV. Buy a smart box. I don't care what box you buy. You can buy a Blu-ray player that has whatever else out there. There's DVRs that have it, and they're getting cheaper. But for the fact is, I wouldn't buy a Blu-ray DVD player with all that functionality in it for the fact of it being a combination unit, and you lose features on the computer with buying it in a combination, like for a DVD or DVR and smart box, if you want to call it smart. I don't think it's smart. I don't need to go around about it again. But anyways, you're not gaining anything by buying a combination system. And what I've got here, it's a blast. I wish you could see it. I mean, let me show you some of the other parts. I didn't get into the other end of my room here. I should have gone through that earlier. Let me get to that now because I should have. Let me just get to it now. And for those that want the composite video, if you don't have an HDMI TV, and if you got one of those old tube TVs, or you just got a TV that's so old that it's a flat panel, but you don't have HDMI in it, I've got a box here to fix your problems. Let me show you. This one's unplugged, and I have it for another reason. So here's the box, and it's an HDMI to composite converter. It's actually a nice little unit. It's all hard metal, and it has great picture quality. I mean, it is amazing. It's almost equal to the HDMI. I mean, you can't even hardly tell. So there's the back of the unit. Let me show you here. And this works for converting your HDMI down to composite. It's a perfect unit. Now, let me see here. What is the brand? I don't know. It says View HD. I don't know if that brand still exists today or not. I mean, I haven't had it this long. I mean, maybe a year or two. I bought it for knocking down my HD camera to get it into my computer so I could use it on my capture board. And it works really well for that. And let me show you some other things about my setup. I know, and I don't know how to make this video short, okay? This is going to be super long. I know I keep saying it. So here, I have a HDMI extender receiver. It's a totally different brand unit. I'm really surprised that this works. With this, I don't know what the brand is. It doesn't even tell me on the box what it is. But the one thing I find with this particular unit is that it's probably well, not out of sync, but how do I say it? It echoes. So like when you walk into the room, now I'm going to give you a tour of what all this stuff does. I'm just going to give you a display of it. When I have it running, you'll actually hear that this one actually has a small delay in it. So when it's probably about less than a millisecond. It's not bad. And when you go into the other room, you're not going to notice it, really. I mean, this is cheaper to buy a single HDMI receiver than it is to buy a whole entire kit like I've got to make it work, because then you got extra transmitters. Now, the one equipment I have, that's the KVM extenders, it's in sync, and I got a bunch of these that are the same brand, and both of them, you know, whether it's on my TV out, you know, in front, or this monitor here on my desk, are both in sync. So let me give you a little demonstration of what this equipment can do. I'm going to show you each monitor that I've got in this room, and it's really awesome. I mean, this does get expensive. If you're just a home user and you're saying, well, I don't know, I can't afford. The switch that I showed you earlier was about, I can't really remember off my head. It might have been 20 or 30 bucks, maybe 40 at the tops. It's just, like I said, it's just a standard switch. There's no special programming in it. It's just plug and play. You home users out there can install it without a professional. Just run your cable and you're all set. And whether you want surround sound in your living room, I have that. Surround sound in my living room, and in this office I've got surround sound, and I like it. It works great. You can hear your movies a lot better than on a TV speaker. Now, a TV speaker is great for if you want to do Facebook talking, not too many people even know that Facebook, you can talk on Facebook. I talked to people today that didn't even know that feature existed. I called people on Facebook this week that were absolutely shocked that I could talk to them through Facebook on my TV. There's so much out there. Nobody hardly knows what this stuff does. Now maybe you don't care. Maybe you've got a smartphone. If you've got a dumb phone, it won't work. But if you've got one of these computerized phones, like iPhone, Android, whatever, like this is a thing I've got is an Android TV box. Basically is a phone, has apps. You can communicate through your television. It's sweet. At least you don't have to have a phone. I don't want a phone. I don't hardly go anywhere. UPS comes here every single day almost. You think I'm crazy? Go ask my family. They'll tell you that UPS pulls up here pretty much every day. Not every day, but a lot. Probably every month. You know, depends on how much I get during that month. Anyhow, when this stuff is coming in and I'm testing, it's coming in every day pretty much. And I'm going to be sending this little puppy back to Amazon because it's not any use to me for the fact that it's just too cheap. I mean, I bought it because I was like, well, it looked bigger on Amazon. It's not that big. I'll just show you it again. So it's this little thing, but they had this thing so blown up that it looked like a big, nice tabletop. You know, this thing slides around. I'm not too happy with that purchase. Everything else I've got, I'm happy with. So, let me get to the Android box and let me start playing a TV source so that you can actually see this thing working. I'll try free TV. I want you to see that this does not work too good. And I'll play a little bit of the sound, but I'm not going to play an awful lot just for the fact that I don't want to get a copyright issue on YouTube for this stuff. So, let's get started here. One thing before I get started on the actual TV showing you this, I forgot to show you the receiver that I have. Now, I've showed you in other videos. This is the KVM port. So this has the keyboard and mouse. But with my wireless keyboard I've got, I only have to have one little dongle in there in the USB port. Pretty nice. I can run multiple of these at once. And like I said, it's better to buy the PWDY extenders and receivers and any extender for the fact that it's all in sync. Now, if you don't care if it's a little out of sync, go buy another brand. I highly recommend it. The other one that I've got was probably about $50 for the receiver. Not bad. But when you start adding up the price, it gets quite pricey. But if you already started one of these things, and if you have a Switch at home, or you got one of these, it's no big deal to keep adding receivers as you go along. I recommend it over anything. Over just traditional copper. I mean, I recommend the copper, Cat 6. I recommend Category 6 over Category 5. Now, if you want to find out what the difference is between the 6 and the 5, be my guest. I'm not going to go into it because I don't care. Well, anyways, let me get into showing you the actual video itself. Alright, so this is the main screen of your Android device, whatever you get. I'm going to show you this one. I got a few apps on my favorites. I'm not going to show you too much on how to set everything up because I've done these in other videos. So let me just show you some of the functionality of this. I like it. And let me show you the apps. So I've tested a bunch of apps. So I've got, well, what you see first is the app installer, the browser, Chrome, Classic Flicks, Clock, Downloads, Easy Clean, Facebook, File Browser, Film One Live, Firefox, First One TV, free Inner TV, Gallery, Gmail, Hallmark, add-ons, whatever that is, Media Center. Let's see here. So then I've got Messenger, Miracast, whatever that is, Movie Player, Music, PBS, Play Store. Let's see here. Some kind of PPOE, I don't know what that is. Prime Video, root browser, settings, setup wizard, storm radar, weather app, TV store, TVMC, whatever that is, update, VLC, and Zusk. Now I downloaded some of these, and these a lot. I'll tell you right now, right off the bat, that Chrome, Classic Flicks, Facebook, Film One on Firefox, First TV, Enter TV, Hallmark, and let's see here, Amazon Video, Stormwatch, and Weather, and the VLC and Zosk. I don't know if I said Firefox, but all that stuff I've downloaded. So everything else that I have not said I've downloaded is basically what comes with the system. But I've got this all set up for myself. And this is the stuff I've tested now. Like I've said, this free One TV app, I don't like it. But let me, this is besides the point. Let me start showing you some things. So I can go to the Weather Channel and view my weather and get storm alerts, all sorts of stuff. Let's see here. I can also watch weather clip videos, all sorts of stuff. Let me see. Let me see if I can play one of these sneakers. Now, for some reason, it blinks when the video starts playing. Don't know. It's not the equipment. Don't flip out and be like, oh no, the TV is going nuts. No, it just does that. That's just the way it is. That's just modern technology for you. So, let's see here. Now, the only thing that I can't do is I can't blow this thing up. But, let's see here. Alright.
Winter storm Oliver taking shape first across the west. Here are a look at the current watches, warnings, and advisories.
So this is the Weather Channel app that you can, I can't even blow up the video for you to see. It's pathetic.
Also, under some of those alerts, it will be on the move, producing as much as 2 feet of snow.
Can't do anything about it.
Portions of the west, where you see there on the left is a live look of Spokane. It is going to be on the move to the Midwest.
So anyways, that's that. And you can also watch one of the reasons, I like Facebook for the fact that I can communicate on my TV, like I've said. Let's see here. Let's go to my apps. So I can actually watch TV. Oh, what's this? Oh, let's see here. I'm subscribed to some channels, so it's popping up stuff. Let's go to the watch list. So here's Returning the Favor on Facebook. Now it's not live TV; it's videos on demand. But there's also Facebook Live. So when you want to watch somebody that's broadcasting on their cell phone, you can watch it on your TV without having your computer. This is pretty sweet. I like watching this show. This is Returning the Favor. It's a really good video. I wish I could see it on actual TV, but can't. So this is what it sounds like.
Meet the honoree. I get to know them, and then I surprise them with an expression of our collective gratitude. Unfortunately, I can't be in 2 places at once, so while I'm out...
So, that's that for you. That's Facebook Live, or that's the video on demand. That's not Facebook Live. Let's see here. I don't know if any of this is live. Actually, speaking of it, let's see here. What? Discover. So basically, these are the different shows that you can watch on Facebook. I'm not really interested, but you can watch other people's videos, which is pretty nice. So let me get out of here. So anybody that's interested in classic movies, this is the app for you. Film One, or Film On, or how do you say it? Film on TV. Okay, that's how you say it. Film on TV. Now it takes a little bit for it to boot up. So it finally is loaded up. And I am going to go to Classics. So you can watch, now, I can't say everything. But there's the default channel that comes up every single time. Alright, Classic TV. So all for you folks that do like Classic TV, this is the thing for you. Now, I don't know why, but every so often it tops out. And what I mean by that, it just stops playing. I've got to go back, sometimes go out of the app, and come back in and watch it again. But this is live, really live. But they are some studio kind of a setup. Now, I don't know why it's taking forever for it to show up, but that's just the way it is. And that's where I get into the fact that free versus paid is that paid is much better. And it just pops on like that. Now, whether, like I said, whether you're on DSL or you're on cable, satellite, like I said, DSL is better than satellite. But for those that are looking at 7.1, you are just pushing it with 7.1. And what I mean by pushing it is that it's a little bit under what you should have. The minimum that I've got on this, I've got 3 DSL connections. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole setup thing, but I've got 10 megs going to this thing right now. So it's working pretty good and it's stable. So let me, I'll turn up the volume for you. So it's not as good sound quality as what I've had on Facebook. But you can actually come down here and blow up the screen. Although that you don't get the 16:9 screen like you do on the more modern videos. And with this, even with this TV, I can't really, do the zoom feature because it's not the bars going the other way. It's the bars going up and down. It's not going top to bottom. But if it was the top to bottom bars, I could get rid of those. But these ones, I can't do anything with. So let me show you some other things that are pretty neat with this. Like I said, that's free. The only thing that I have found with this First One TV app, it's horrible. It absolutely stinks. Out of all the stuff that I've tested out on this Android box, that First One TV is absolutely the worst. I made an account with First One. I'm not going to pay $22 a year for something that doesn't work on free. Doesn't make sense. Now, I have no idea. I did some research on it. You would think it wouldn't matter from what country it comes from. This website is not in the U.S. This website is in Germany. So I don't know if that has an effect on our TV. But the thing that's ridiculous about this is the fact that the Weather Channel works the best. And I don't like the app for the fact that it has ads. And let me show you. This is the browser that comes with the Android. Now, the one thing I had a fit about, well, not really, I don't know if I want to say fit, but it was an aggravation. You see that blue little mouse on my screen? You have to use this remote control to get rid of it. You cannot move it any other way. So, let's see here. Then I also have to hit that arrow button, that thing that makes the mouse move. Let's see here. Here we go. Alright, so then I just... Why isn't it? Yeah, I can't get it to do what I want it to do when I want it. Alright, so I have to get it out of the way. So you gotta use, like I said, you gotta use this remote control. I know it's a little bit hard to see because I got the zoom thing out on my camera so you can see the TV better. But you've seen the remote control earlier. So you gotta use that remote, that one I was telling you about, the programmable remote that programs on it. That's the one you have to use to get the mouse out of the way. So, let's see here. Okay. So what you get on this. Now I'm going to go through it fast because there's so much stuff on this website that it would take forever to go through it. And like I said, I got an account set up so I can actually, customize my channels. So there's, well, I won't even bother to read it off. I'll just scroll through it. And if you want to see what is all on this website, stop the video and rewind it. I don't have enough time to go through individual channels. There's other things that are out there, other videos that people made that will explain to you what everything does. But anyways, let's see here. So there's a lot of TV stations. And so right here's the one that I watch the most, the weather. Why? Because it's the only one that works. I mean, that's utterly ridiculous. Now you gotta wait 10 seconds. Now I don't know why the ad comes up. Maybe it's because of my ad blocker. I have no idea. It's not on this box, but it's on my network. I got an ad blocking system installed. So now I just can click that and it'll just start playing after it gets done flicking and all that. Okay. Now they're having some kind of a movie thing on. I've looked at this earlier. And so I just blew it up. Okay. So that's basically the full screen of the Weather Channel. And it's playing perfectly, and it actually sounds pretty good.
Inside glass as it cools.
No glitching, no nothing. I have no idea what these people are doing, why this channel works out of all the channels. Well, I can't say all because I've tried Fox, PBS, Animal Planet, and History. So I've watched those. The few of the channels that I've wanted to watch, it just did not work. Now let me give you an illustration of what I mean. And I don't know. Well, I don't know why it backs out this far. It drives me nuts. All right. So, I have no idea what is not. I don't know if it's my, and I can't see that it's me. For the fact that my friend in Oregon had the same problem. So, it must be them. But, what I have found is that I can play a stream at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time when everybody's in work. It plays a lot better than at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time when everybody's getting out. Whether it's the kids are home from school, the parents are getting home from work, it absolutely stinks. it's worse than it was in the morning. And I don't know if that's the internet or if it's this service. I know it's not the box. I've tried that. I've reset it. And I've got, like I said earlier in the video, I've got so much to talk about. I'm probably going to have to make several other videos on this subject that are different than this one. This one's just a, well, it's not as quick as I wanted it, but it's supposed to be just kind of a quick walkthrough of this piece of equipment. Why did I back out of that? Alright, let me get back into it. Alright, so I'm going to go to history. Now, one of the things that I have found, even this Home and Garden TV channel stinks. Now, if somebody's out there, and I recommend you to try it at least, because I'm having a hard time, but I want proof. And nobody, I mean, like I said, I've got one person that would try it, but I communicated with my family, they won't try it. I don't know why they won't help me out. I know they're busy, but the fact is that it only takes you probably about maybe a minute to look at the stupid site and say, oh, this thing's junk, and then move on and tell me. So anyways, I'm going to play this for the family's sake because this is what they wanted to play when they get rid of their cable. And I've gotten, I just had another person I know talk to me and said, cable sucks. They said that everything is just a repeat. Well, yeah, probably. They got nothing new to play. So, let's see here. And there's ads in this. So, this is basically like their own. I thought it was first that the ads was the cable company, but the ads are actually coming off the stations themselves. So, let me show you some of this.
At Wayfair.com.
Thanks to Pizza Hut 7.
I call it the Vormax Plus, and it's so
Alright.
clean. I've engineered it so the bulk.
See how that ad just flipped?
This Vormax Plus fresh infused.
It was on Pizza Hut,
and it freshens with.
and now it's on to some other ad. And now it just stopped. And I find this on every single channel. And this goes for the app. The app does the same thing. And actually the app is worse than the onboard browser, which came with Android. Now it'll stay like that until I do something. Now, let me just try it. Let me see if I can hit pause and then start it back up again. I don't know. Nope. Won't allow me. Oh, no, there it is. Alright, so then I've got to go down and you know, hit pause and hit play and pause and then turn it back on again. But it just does not. You can see all these ads just do not work right, and they jump around, and you lose stuff. So you lose information. So you lose your show, and then you're on to something else. So it's not very reliable. Now, this company, I mean, if they want to have somebody subscribe to the thing, they ought to get it to work for nothing. This is pathetic, folks. Now, I don't know why I keep. I just want to get out. I just want to go to another station and just show you that it's just not that one. Now, like I said, the Weather Channel works just fine. I showed you that. All right. Well, I don't know. I guess ESPN is sports. I don't know. I'm not a sports watcher, so I don't know. Maybe this one will work for you guys, gals, that like sports. But I don't know. Now, one thing I have found, if you can see it all right on the TV there, it shows you Stream 1 and Stream 2. Now, I do not understand what that is. Now, at first, I thought it was two different TV stations. Now, for example, I went to Animal Planet, Animal Planet got 2 different programs on those buttons that are live compared to what's on cable or satellite. Now, I have no idea. I don't have either one. I don't have cable and I don't have satellite, so I can't compare it. And the other thing I can't tell you is this in real time? I don't know. For the fact that I don't have another source to compare it with. I don't have, Fox News on cable to be able to say, yes, that's it. I could probably compare it with ABC, but the fact is that these are stations coming out of who knows where. And I can't compare it. So I don't know, if you want real TV in real time and something that's up to date, so when it says, you're watching XYZ, what's on the cable is on the internet. But I can't guarantee you that this is the same stuff. So if you want some sports, I don't know. Whoops, I gotta wait 10 seconds for it to get done with its advertising stuff. Alright. Alright, so let's see if this, for you folks that love sports, I'll play a little bit of it and we'll see if this actually glitches. Like I've said, I'm not a sports fan, so I've never really tried it. This is the first time I've tried the sports channel. I don't know. I just don't know. I think you're better off. Like I said, I cannot recommend Sling, Hulu, or any of those other sites that are out there that are providing live TV for the fact that I've not tried it. And you're going to have to try it yourself. You can tell me in a comment if it's good, and B, if it's not, but that's up to you. So the sports channel seems to be playing A-OK. Now, I kind of wonder, with Animal Planet and some of those other stations like History, those are pure HD video. Now, that's one thing that I would rather do without. Now, I like HD. Don't thumb my video down for the fact that I don't like HD. No, I do like HD, but especially when you're going over the internet and you don't know who has what speed, it's better to have a pixel video or a little bit poor audio. Now, I don't mean poor audio to where it absolutely sucks where you can't understand it. Now, I just mean that it has a little tinny, like AM radio kind of a noise to it versus pure quality, and the thing times out, in and out, left and right, and you lose video. That sucks. Now, as I'm talking here and I'm watching this station, well, it just paused. Scratch that. Now it's acting weird. I was going to say it actually plays pretty good, but as I'm talking here, it's starting to get a little bit spotty as far as it's not smooth motion. And it's losing whatever you want to call it, signal, video. If they just didn't do things in super HD video, I mean, you've got to have cable TV, folks, or not cable TV, but cable internet at 75 megabytes for perfect video playback. Like my friend down in Oregon has 75 megabytes and it still didn't work all that good. So who knows? It's just, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, it's enough of that channel, alright? So, let me get out of this thing. So then you got your VLC player. If you had, video files on this thing, that's one thing I don't know how to run, is the file browser. I've gotten messed around with it a little bit today before getting on this video, and I've learned some other things, but it just does not work the way it doesn't work like a PC. Okay. So let's see here. I got your classic flicks. And this actually goes out to YouTube, so I'm not going to go there for the fact that I've got to go to YouTube. If I'm going to go to YouTube, I'm just going to go out and get on YouTube, okay? There's a clock, which is pretty nice. I can actually set up multiple clocks in different time zones. So I can set one for, you know, China, UK, different states in the U.S. that are like, you know, on mountain time and different things like that. Let's see here. Let me get out of here. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the apps. I do have I've signed up to Hallmark Movies now, and oh, sorry, why does that one? Okay, I've used it, liked it, love it. I think now. Okay. What is going on here now? I don't know. Let me get back out of it. I don't know what that thing was doing. I didn't take time to read it. So, the one thing I do find that is very annoying, especially when I want to watch TV, okay, is the fact that I don't know if you can see it. I'm not going to really run on it because it's my personal private messages with people. But I've got a notification on here from Facebook. Now, I've logged out of my Facebook. Now, I didn't log out of this one, but on the one that I have down on my living room TV, I've logged out of it. And it still notifies me. So I have to go physically into the machine and force it to stop so it doesn't give me any more notifications, which is kind of a pain in the rear. So, the one thing I found with this, now this is a brand new service, and I just signed up to it. I think they just launched it at the end of 2017. So, things are not quite up to par as they should be. So, I can click on whatever you want. Let's see here. So this is a video that I've started. Didn't finish it because I really didn't like it. But I'll play a little bit of it so you can actually see it. See how it works. If it will work for me, that is. It always seems like that it doesn't work when I'm doing a demonstration. Alright. Okay, so here it is, folks. There's the Hallmark's Movies Now. Let's see here.
Because you are happy in your mind.
So, there's that one. And let me give you a demonstration on the multiple TV setup. I mean, this is just so awesome that you can actually do this. I can watch multiple TVs. So, you're watching the first one. Now, this is like my living room TV. It's not my living room, it's my office. But let me show you the other setups that I've got here that you can run multiple setups at once. So here's my computer monitor. And here's my other monitor that I have the actual source coming from over here. So that's all coming from down over here through the player and all the wires. And it actually works pretty good on my monitor. Now over here I've got my test TV, like I've told you that it is. It's the one I do a lot of testing with before I actually put it into production. It's also my computer monitor for other things that I use. So basically I have all these sources. So I got 3 sources right now. Big one, the small computer monitor, and the 10-inch, maybe it's 15-inch TV set over here. Now let me show you the difference between the sound between the stereo system Or let me just, I don't have it connected to a stereo. But, well, these speakers up here are actually connected to this monitor. So these actually work simultaneously with the television because it's the same piece of equipment. So let me get started on giving you a sound demonstration. Alright, so I've got this big TV running, the sound on this one, and I've got the sound on these speakers running, and there's no echoing. So it's pretty good. And this is, like I said, let me show you the piece of equipment in the back here. Is actually absolutely the same unit that I have on my TV up front. So let me show you what the actual TV sounds like with the opposite piece of equipment, which is just my receiver, which is I think it's a Panlong receiver, compared to the one I have just now, which is the PDWY. Alright, so between this TV and this TV, which are different pieces of equipment that are the extenders, it echoes. I don't know, can you hear that echo? I hope you can. Alright, let me show you the other sound. Let me turn off the main TV and I'll turn on the one that's my computer speakers. Alright, so I got the sound on this monitor and computer speakers and on this TV, and it still echoes. I can hear the echoing quite good. I don't know if you can there, folks, but I can hear it quite well here. So here it is again with this TV and this monitor. They're both equal because it's the same piece of equipment. Basically, it's that PD. Let's see if I can see it here. The PD or PW DY. Let me see here. I got so many wires on, it's hard to see. All right. So it's the PWDY, and I have both those that are the same receivers, and they work fine. But the Panlong receiver is like a few seconds off, or maybe even just milliseconds. I'm not even sure how far off they are. But I don't think it really matters if you don't care. I mean, I don't care. So the one thing I forgot to show you is my camera. Now, I showed you the actual camera, but I did not show you the way it works. Now, I don't think I can find anybody to talk to on Facebook. They're all too busy, or they just don't want to talk. I mean, I know there's a couple of my friends that have texted me back and saying that they're too busy today to do it. But I needed to get this video done because I've got a truckload more to go with doing stuff on smart TVs. This is just part of some other videos that I got to do. And some of the other ones are going to be a little bit less content than this one. But I still think that you need to know about this stuff. And nobody is telling anybody about what this stuff can do. And I can easily test it. I mean, I can't say easily because it takes me a long time to test something. That's why it's taken me forever to upload another video, because it's been taking me, I don't know how many weeks I've been working on this, but you know, day in and day out, I've been doing a lot of testing, whether it's, you know, to see how the thing works. I'll tell you one thing I actually got on my box. I actually somehow downloaded a stinking virus to the Android. It ain't bulletproof, folks. I don't care what the company say. Like, they say, oh, Mac is bulletproof. Bull crap. Nothing's bulletproof. I mean, who knows what you're getting on Macintosh. I mean, I don't even know what the solution was to fix just get rid of the virus, except that I had to do a factory crash and start all over again. That's a pain. So let me give you one word of advice. And I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about this on other videos. But you need to stick with known applications. Now, what do I mean by known applications? Like Facebook, Weather Channel, Firefox, Chrome, Hallmark Movies Now. But there's a lot of junk out there, and I've tested it all, that actually will crash the machine. And I spent hours re-downloading all this stuff. And that's the only pain about the Google Play Store, is that you just can't download the stinking file and save it someplace so that you have it for offline use. So if they want to discontinue the device, boom, device gone. And that's why I don't recommend a television. For the fact is, if Google says, I'm not supporting Samsung anymore, or whatever the other TV brands that are out there, boom, your TV's history, folks. You got a $1,000 TV sitting on your table that only half works. Now for me, I don't have to worry about it, because I've just got a TV with a lot of features compared to a smart TV. Now you might think it's cool to have a smart TV and have your friends over and saying, hey, I got a smart TV, what do you got? Well, I don't have a smart TV, folks. I've got a smart box that I can actually take it anywhere I want and plug it into anything. And I can run it in multiple rooms. Smart TVs you can't. You got to have it in one room. One room only. But with one of these smart boxes like I've got, you can run it in multiple rooms if you want. And you don't even have to use the equipment I've got. You can run HDMI cables if you like. I don't care. But this is faster. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but it's better than having to run a USB cable, HDMI cable, the whole 9 yards. And never, and I mean never, use wireless. I can't stress it anymore to you why not to. And for those that think wireless is so great, not with HD. I gotta keep going back to this stuff. HD is hard. I don't care what wireless device you've got. Now, there is probably one wireless unit I have tried. I took it back because I didn't think it was working right. I can't even pronounce the name of the brand right now, but it's a point-to-point wireless. Now, one day I'm going to buy another one, and I'm actually going to show you how to get whole property Wi-Fi. This Wi-Fi stuff that you have sitting on your router is junk. The Wi-Fi that I bought and I put up on an antenna mast was really good, except for the fact that it didn't go as far as I thought, but that was because of the layout of the LAN. That wasn't due to the actual piece of equipment once I found out afterwards. But that's a whole nother video. I know I'm getting off the subject here. But you just can't use Wi-Fi with these things. Now maybe somebody might come up with a perfect Wi-Fi, but I don't know. I just out of all the years that I have seen Wi-Fi, and I've helped other people in other countries with Wi-Fi, for the fact that we communicated through Skype before, and it was lousy, and I said plug in the Ethernet. As soon as they plugged the Ethernet in, wham, we had good connection. But wireless was choppy, stoppy, and whatever you want to call it. It just stopped working, and it was choppy. And it is most aggravating. And it was aggravating this fellow that I was talking to. And so stay away from it. I don't care what you use. I even use I'm not up on these power line adapters. there's another whole, I mean, that's a whole nother subject. Someday I'm going to have to buy one because I had an old one. Didn't work very good in this house. And at the time, I was doing a lot of stuff, but not what I'm doing today. So I don't think it would do me any good to have it. There's other issues with sending your signal over electrical line. There's interference on your 110, just the same way with Wi-Fi, because that's basically all that you're doing is transferring your network and your house wiring into a wireless network. I don't recommend that. I mean, like I said, I haven't tried the new ones. I can't totally put my finger down on it, but I'm sure that it's not reliable. Why? Every time the electricity fluctuates, you're going to lose your network. And then you got to reboot things. And it just makes a whole mess. And that's what was going on here with my old one. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. And I know I've gotten off the trail again with this whole thing. But you just need to stay away from certain apps. Especially, like I've said before, stuff that looks non-professional. Like I've downloaded, like I've said, you've seen it, Facebook, Weather Channel, Hallmark movies. All that is perfect for my setup. But if you're going to start downloading, the first one TV that I downloaded, it was alright. I'm not going to go and show you that app because I found it really kind of annoying. But if you want to try it, try it. But I'm not going there. And I'm going to continue to kind of mess with the TV. Hopefully, it will get better. I don't know. But let me show you my camera. I know I'm totally off the subject of everything here. I just had to get some of this stuff out. Like I said, there's so much stuff to cover, it's hard to cover it all. So let me show you my screen with my camera. Alright, so when you have a camera connected to your Android box, this is what it will show you. It will show you the camera. So here, you can't see me too good because I'm right in the front of it here. Let's see here. So actually, it doesn't have bad quality. Let's see here. So actually, I can show you my. Actually, that screen is double, so I can't really do that. But so actually, yeah. So you can see my room and my other screen. You can see a double look on this screen for the fact that I'm pointing it right at it. So it has really decent video for what it is. And like I said, it's only like 26 bucks. So not bad. And there's my camera setup and everything. Here's my dog and a pile of boxes on the floor. So then you can take snapshots with it. Now this is what you would do when you're going to camera chat. Like on Facebook, you call somebody. And you would turn on your camera. Now I can actually take a snapshot of this stuff right here. And there it is. I just made a snapshot of the stuff everywhere else. So basically that's the the camera. Well, I wanted to really show you how the chat worked on this box, but I'm going to have to show you some other time. That will have to be another video. I can't find anybody right now that's free to chat with on Facebook. But it is a pretty sweet operation I've got here, and I highly recommend it. I hope that you got a lot of useful information out of it, and there's a lot more coming. I mean, this is just the first of the videos of this series. I mean, I can do another one on how to set it all up. There is so much I found in this box. I can't tell you it all in one. I'd probably have an 8-hour video here. But I don't have time to upload something like that, and I don't have really time to get into all that stuff right now. But if you are interested in stuff like this, I highly recommend subscribing. There's more. This is not the end, folks. It never will be the end of what I'm getting myself into. I mean, some people say I'm crazy. You might think this is work, but it's also fun work. And I enjoy doing this. This is my life. Sitting here playing with video equipment, showing you what the thing does. Nobody's going to be telling you what this thing can do else other than just what they kind of throw out on the internet. I mean, I've seen a lot of different videos on this particular box, and phew-wee, did it stink! They sucked. It didn't tell you what you could do with this thing. They just showed you the freaking box. I mean, if you want to see the box, I'll show you the box. So right there's the box. That's what somebody says to me. You know, hey, this comes in a really cool box. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not going to get and wasting your time onto that, because I got a whole nother box, or a whole nother video called the unboxing. I find that whole video stuff a joke. Don't waste my time with that stuff. But this is the stuff that I'm going to get right down to, is the nitty-gritties of what this thing can do and it can't do. And there's hardly anything that this thing can't do. Now, there are a few negatives to it. The fact is that, and I didn't go into all that stuff before, but the thing is, the more expensive ones that I've tried, you can do voice search. I don't really care for that. I found that kind of annoying. And there's some other things that this one doesn't support, which the other ones, well, I'm not sure. I never really tried it, but might support. I don't know. But I didn't really see too much difference between this 7.1 box and the other 7.1 Android box that I bought. I had to take it all back because they didn't work. I mean, this one does for 60 bucks. I mean, you can't get any better than that. I mean, if you want something that's voice search, then you're going to have to find something that's more expensive. But if you just want to have something basic for Facebook, watching a few videos, YouTubing, this is a great box for you, folks. I highly recommend it. And I went out, I spent $100 what? Maybe $100 bucks. I got them on sale. I got them first for 50 bucks, and so I got them both for $100 bucks. Well, now they're going to be out there for $120. But like I said, you might find it in a deal from some other website other than Amazon. Who knows? If you can find it someplace other than Amazon at a decent price, and it's there's not too many people that I can say that write really awesome reviews. I don't see that. I mean, it takes time to make good reviews. This video takes a lot of my time to make it. I mean, I spent weeks building this thing. I mean, it's just taking me whatever, the time is to, I mean, right now I'm actually at 1 hour and some odd minutes of filming. And by the time you see it, it'll be all knocked down to a reasonable time. But anyways, there's not too much that I can say that is negative, except that there is a few apps that I have downloaded that made it crash. Some known apps. I don't remember right off the bat what it was I did to make it crash, but it didn't really crash, so to say, like a computer usually crashes, but it rebooted, and that's not normal for a box to reboot. There's something wrong when it does that unless you hit or set up something in your box to reboot. There is none except for the power scheme in it. Now that is a whole nother video on how to set it up. It's quite easy to set up. I mean, and I have to get into more of that. And I'm going to actually, when the next video that you see, I'll probably have it all set up in my remote location. So when you actually see me setting it up and going through the settings, it will be in my control room. And if you watched other of my videos, you know what my control room is. It's the basement. And it's a perfect spot since it's cool to keep all the equipment cool. It's quite hot in here with all the stuff running, the lights, the TV equipment, all that. I even got the window open trying to keep it cooled down in here a little bit, and it's still hotter than all get out. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're gonna buy it, go ahead, buy it. You won't be sorry. The things that I do recommend you doing is getting a wireless keyboard and mouse. And get one that is a combination of it. Now, whether you want to spend $70 for a keyboard, $25 for a keyboard, that's up to you. This little white keyboard and mouse that I've got, it's a full-size keyboard. It was $25, and it works just as well as the expensive keyboards do. Now, the only things that I found with this particular unit, and I got to make a little video about that, is the fact that I've got to do a left click or right click or a scroll on the mouse to activate it. But if I'm there physically moving the mouse back and forth, it stays on. But I can't just go like and have it come on. It won't do it. It's like I gotta have like some kind of it's like a little switch or something there. It's not like the other mice, like I have an Amazon Basics mouse, that it just runs. And when you move it, it moves. It just comes right on instantaneously. This thing doesn't do it. The keyboard's totally different. Now that whole is another video. And I might upload it to YouTube. I know it's going to go up to Amazon where I bought it, just to let people know about it. But anyhow, if you like this video, like it and subscribe. And tell other people that it helped you out. And share it. That's the best way you can get the knowledge out there to other people. I'm trying to help you out, so help other people out, and that helps me out. And I'll be seeing you now, and I'll be on the next video with something else that is really cool. And have a good day.